Good afternoon and welcome back to the YouTube. Today is a pretty good day. We have had our meal one, we've got our first work block done, and now we are on for lower today, which is lower B, glute-focused legs, which is really exciting. I will pop up some photos by here of how we are looking at the minute. We had check-in this morning, which was week 3 of 18 of this gaining phase before prep. It may be cut shorter. We just have to wait and see. But look is really good, and legs have come up a fucking shitload since the last dieting phase we had. So physique is looking really good, but we're not going to stop there. We still got plenty of time to improve before prep starts. So we're going to look to take as much progression as we can today. We have currently got chicken, rice, veg, and an easy peeler. I've just got extra virgin olive oil with my chicken and rice, which fats are usually 10 to 12 grams per meal for me personally, but with my pre-meal, I tend to push it a bit higher, about 15 grams, just because I digest food very fast. My body's in sort of a furnace mode, I like to call it. I just burn through everything super quick. And when it gets to about 3/4 of the way through my session, I'm starting to die off of energy a bit sharper than I would earlier, even with an intra workout. So we're just gonna put a bit more fats in, slow down the digestion, which should hopefully hold on to some energy for myself. But yeah, I'll eat this up now really quick, and then I'll be back with you while making my pre-workout and intra-workout and touch on what I've got in there before training. So we are just getting our pre-workout ready for training, which at the minute is 20 grams of pumpage, trained by JP. I have got sour peach ring flavour, which is actually pretty solid. I wouldn't say it's my top choice, but it's definitely not bad. I believe it was some sort of orange flavour before that was a bit better than this one, but 20 grams of this does the job. I keep the separate scales ready for my pre and intra, just because I end up misplacing scales. So we've got one for actual food and then one for pre and intra. So pumpage is a non-stim, but I do have caffeine through coffee, which I absolutely love. If you follow me, you would know that. But yeah, I used to have 3 coffees a day. So it'd be 1 teaspoon of just some standard old, not Asda, Aldi coffee, which is, I think, some gold one, which is actually quite nice. It's nothing crazy, I just like the taste of coffee. But I used to have 3 of them spread across 3 different servings, so it would be 1 as soon as I wake, which is my hydrate and caffeinate coffee. Then I would have 1 in between meal 1 and meal 2, just as a keep me up while getting a weight block done. And then at that point, I'm feeling pretty fresh. And then I would have 1 post meal 2 just before training, just that extra serving bump to keep me fresh for training. However, I have been swapping my frequency of caffeine, and I've now resorted to the same amount of caffeine, because it's a pretty spot on blend for me, to 2 servings, well, twice a day, but 2 servings with in between meal 1 and meal 2, then 1 serving in the hydrate and caffeinate sort of part of my day, and it's working a charm. That is helping with sleep a lot, so I'm going to take it. First off, this lighting is pretty solid for me by ear, but I missed out 1 thing, which was my intra. I forgot to mention 30 grams Carb X, 10 grams creatine of your choice, and then I've got 10 grams of EAAs by Trained by JP2, just as they do have some hydration qualities in there. And it's a pretty good price. I don't want to go out spending a fortune on supplements as much as I do want the benefits. It's supplements at the end of the day, they're just add-in. So they're all good quality stuff. I get mine personally from ABP Nutrition, which is very solid and local to home. I believe it's like a 10-minute drive from my house at home. So I like supporting them. But yeah, I am gonna catch you now either in the car or training, probably in the car where I'll outline my session for you. So as I have not actually driven my car in, I think about 3-4 days, something like that. Yesterday was a rest day, so I literally just done my steps near the house and I had no shopping to do, so I had nowhere to be. I literally just stayed in, got some work done. And then the day previous, I had Isabel run me around. I believe she went shopping. What was the day before? Upper. I believe she went shopping or she was training. She had a devolume session. So I haven't driven my car in a few days, so I thought I'd run you through my lower session while my car is warming up. First off, we've got ab crunches on a machine, which are pretty self-explanatory. I don't think I'm going to talk on them. It's just a case of crunching. Then we have seated hamstring curls, which again, the pin-loaded leg extensions, which I'm not going to touch on until we get new machines in the gym, because we've got some new machines coming soon, which I'm really looking forward to, so I'll touch on them when they do come in. And then we have, directly after leg extension is glute drive, which I will touch on. Then adductors, Bulgarian split squats, and single leg hamstring curl. So I'll touch on glute drive, Bulgarians, maybe single leg hamstring curls. Not too sure on that one, but I'll get back to you. Structure of the session is pretty much laid out, same as per usual. This is the first lower session on the YouTube, but if you follow me on Instagram, you would have probably seen this session countless amounts of times. So yeah, I'll leave you guys while I warm up my car and drink my pre, and I'll see you at the gym. Come on, man. So hip thrust, how do we set these up? A common misconception a lot of people do is overemphasizing the range of motion on these. A lot of people go all the way down to the bottom, which just isn't needed. When you go past a certain point, your quads start to engage more than your glutes. So it may look like I'm doing half reps. However, this is a glute-focused lower day, so we want to focus on our glutes, and in doing so, doing the range of motion that they are being used. Another thing too that can help with that is, I'll show you how far I go down on the way down now, but putting like a thick bumper plate underneath. That way, if you're not standardizing your form, usually, you can use that bumper plate then to restrict your movement, and you could do dead stops at the bottom portion of the movement. And then from there, you'll get used to it, and you could gradually take the bumpers away until you're able to do it without. But working sets on you are 3 plates, 5, 6, 6.5 as top set. only one set on you as my glutes can recover, and it's just not needed. Like, glutes are in a good spot at the minute, so there's no need to overdo it and take away from other exercises. So that's exactly where you want to go when your knees start to sink back. I was literally just talking for about 2-3 minutes there without realising I didn't press record, so that's absolutely mint. But it was an amazing session nonetheless. Everything was progressed or matched, which being down 0.7 average this week is really, really good news. We've been in somewhat of a deficit for about 13-14 weeks now, because we had a pre-prep which was, I believe, 10 to 12, somewhere around there, 10 to 12 weeks, and now we are 3 weeks into growing in between pre-prep and prep, which is a nice amount of time. We got 18 weeks in total, 3 done already, so it is flying by. Prep's going to be around before I realise. But yeah, I'm not going to bore you with any much more today, as I've got to head into city centre for some shopping. Just got some food top-up bits and some bits to get from B&M, so nothing too drastic. And yeah, we got some check-ins to do this afternoon, and then back on with uni assignment work, so absolutely fantastic. It's going to be another productive day in the books, which I am really, really happy for. I'm gonna give myself likely an extra half hour before bed just to unwind, as I've been struggling to drop off the past couple of days. This road is so bright. So yeah, gonna give myself an extra half hour just so I can fully drop off and get a good night's sleep, as we have Upper tomorrow and another busy day ahead. So yeah, looking forward to that. But I'm gonna leave you guys with just a lower session for today. Maybe we'll go through a day in the life in the future, which could be pretty fun. But I believe this video is going to be out on Monday, tomorrow, from when I'm filming this. Filming this on Sunday. Should be up Monday, 6 p.m, which would be really, really nice. But that'll be it for today. I'm going to love you and leave it. Oh, and I'll see you guys later.